The animation for this episode had no right to be as good as it was. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 9 of the new Pokemon series titled The Pledge We Made That Day. The Ho-Oh Legend of Johto Region just dropped, and this episode, our boys are finally going to the Johto region to try to capture Ho-Oh. What's gonna happen? Are they gonna be successful? Well, let's find out. We start in the park where all of Go's Pokemon are when Go says that they've sighted Ho-Oh recently. So, they go to the lab and we find out that the sightings were in Ecruteak City. Ash says that they always wanted to battle Ho-Oh and Go says that he wants to capture Ho-Oh, so they decide to go to Johto. They arrive at Ecruteak and Go says that the bell tower has had the most sightings, so they head up there. And Go's about to give the story of Ho-Oh to Ash when a Sentret pops up. After he captures it, Pikachu spots Ho-Oh and both Ash and Go start chasing after it. Ash's Pikachu's Thunderbolt, it hits Ho-Oh, and it goes down really easily, and Ash and Go are surprised that it was so easily. When they chase it up near the bell tower, they end up finding out that it was a kid who had dressed up his Fearow and his Cyndaquil as a Ho-Oh. He was the reason for all the reportings of the sightings. The reason was that for his grandfather, because as soon as this happens, the kid's grandfather comes up to him and tells him that Ho-Oh doesn't exist, and Ash tells the grandfather it does. He talks about it his first day as a trainer, and the grandfather still doesn't believe it. We find out from the kid that the grandfather used to believe in Ho-Oh. He had a rainbow wing he found in his journeys, but after searching for it for so long and never finding it, he just kind of gave up on it. Ash says that instead of trying to trick their grandpa into believing it, they'll find the real thing, and Go says that according to his data, if you have a rainbow wing at the top of Bell Tower, Ho-Oh will appear. But Kurio says that his grandfather's already tried that multiple times. They go in the tower and they see a painting of Ho-Oh, and they notice that in every painting, and even in Ash's experience, there's usually a rainbow associated with Ho-Oh. So, since it was raining earlier, they'll wait for the rain to stop and then try waving the rainbow feather from the top of the bell tower once they see a rainbow. Kurio runs to go and get the rainbow wing. When he returns with his grandfather. The grandfather is skeptical, but he comes with them anyways, and they start climbing the tower. As they start climbing the tower, we can see behind them that they're followed by Mischievous and Stantler, and Mischievous uses a move on all of them as they're climbing up the stair that causes the stair to sink before turning into a slant, making them all slip off. On top of the stairs, Stantler uses another move and sends our heroes on a cliff. When they finally climb the top of the cliff, they end up on a desert. The grandfather is suspicious, so he has his Hoo-Oo use Foresight and they break the illusion. Then they spot the Mischievous and Stantler, and before Stantler can use another illusion, Go throws a Pokeball at it and catches both of them. Then you can see, like, in the background, the rainbow wing is pulsing. They get to the top of the tower, and the stair leading up to the bell is broken, so they help out Kurio and his grandfather to the top of the tower, and they start calling for it. It's still cloudy, there's no rainbow yet, and as they're calling for it, a rainbow appears, so they start calling for it even louder when a wind blows the rainbow wing out of Kurio's hand, and his grandfather is able to catch it. And his grandfather's like, thank you, Kurio, for helping him find that spirit to basically continue that journey. The rainbow wing starts shining, and they try for a bit more, but nothing. The grandfather said that maybe they should just give up. Just for today, so they'll try again tomorrow. And as the kids are heading down to eat because they say they're hungry, the grandfather spots Ho-Oh. When he calls for the kids to show him the Ho-Oh is gone. So the grandfather's just happy that he's now seen it. Go and Ash then head back to the lab where they tell the professor about the fake Ho-Oh thing, and the episode ends with both Ash and Go talking about their goals. Go catching all the Pokemon including Mew, and Ash wanting to become a Pokemon master. So if you couldn't tell by that summary, this wasn't that great of an episode. It was alright, but it was just kind of boring. The motto to this episode, if you will, was chase your dreams, but I feel like the last couple episodes, that's been the case for almost every episode, hasn't it? It's just weird that it's coming up over and over again. I wonder if they're going to have a specific dream that they're building towards, because they're repeating that ending of Ash saying that he wants to become a Pokemon master and Go wanting to capture all the Pokemon, including Mew, at the end of the last 3 or 4 episodes. even this episode, the ending was so abrupt just to include that, I feel like, because the ending to Johto is there's no goodbye to Kuryo or his grandfather or anything. They start heading down to eat, and then boom, we're cut right back into the lab. Like, why? Why is that no goodbyes or anything? Why? Like I said in the beginning though, the animation in this episode, I will give it the positive, is that there's some fantastical animation moments here. Specifically, like 3 moments. The first one is when Pikachu uses Thunderbolt on Ho-Oh, like the Fearow and Cyndaquil, and it just looks awesome. Like, Pikachu looks ridiculously powerful. And then there's 2 times. One is when Go captures the Sentret. Like, the animation for throwing the Pokeball is just, it looks so smooth and clean and dynamic. It looks great. And the second time is when he does that again to capture both the Stantler and the Mischievous. Again, the animation of throwing the Pokeball and it, like, dynamic camera, and just looks awesome. That's what I said at the beginning. This episode had no right to have as good as an animation as it did. But, you know, it is what it is. Overall, I don't know really what to say about this episode. I know people are probably expecting some things, but it's just kind of a boring episode. I mean, you can check it out if you want, but honestly, this is one of those episodes where you can skip it. The next episode, our heroes are going to end up in Dragonite Island. I'm not really interested for that for just the episode itself, and usually I wouldn't be interested, but the one thing that makes me interested, if you remember the poster when the series first came out, Meowth was riding on that Dragonite. I feel like this is the episode where that Dragonite that Ash and Go meet are going to end up with Team Rocket somehow. I'm interested to find out if he's going to be like the Beware of this series. It'll be interesting to see. But anyways, that's it for my review of this episode 9 of the new Pokemon series. Thank you so much for watching. Again, sorry about this episode not really having much substance to talk about. It's just a standard like filler type episode. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. You can let me know in the comments what you think of this episode. You can also follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.